I believe he was locked out because he went into a hearing and he had been, I guess, censure. I don't know how to say. I think maybe censure because he called out that Fannie Willis was supposed to be investigated, but now he's been validated and they still kind of kicked him out of the congressional or the legislature's hearing or something that they had for something else. He went in for something and they said that he was not allowed on the grounds, even though Fannie Willis is being investigated, and that was what the censure was for.
Actually, the censure was for him calling. They had a memorial service for a politician who died, and he went to that memorial service on the House floor in Georgia and called them corrupt. And then the Speaker of their House banned him from the floor for that disrespect.
Oh, to when he got arrested, that's what he went to do?
No, he had already been there and at a prior time when they were doing a memorial service for a politician who had passed away, and he called him corrupt. He spoke ill of the dead, it broke the rules of the House floor, and they banned him from it for a time. I don't know how long, but he tried to go into that hearing today, and they pushed him down. I think he went to the hospital.
Oh, that's odd. That's not the report that I read. So the report that I heard might have been wrong then, because he said that he had called for the investigation of Fannie Willis, and even though and he was censured long ago, like maybe months and months ago, when he called in that she needed to be investigated for corruption or something. But maybe I misread it or something. I'm not sure, or maybe that was just a made up a made up one.
No, that was part of it. He did do that with Fannie Willis, but that wasn't the reason he was censured.
Posted, I believe I found it. It says chaos as Georgia senator is knocked to the ground and thrown out of chambers after being banned. And his name is, I saw it, Senator Colton Moore, who was a Republican, was banned from setting foot inside the chamber after making comments about the late House Speaker David Ralston. Back to you.
That's an interesting one because now the AP is saying that the Speaker of the House has backtracked on it. I wonder why.
Well, I'm pretty sure they can't really do that, what they did, but that, and then he's in the hospital, so I'm sure he is backtracking.
Before it gets worse, by backtracking.
I used to be a part of on YouTube after it got banned off Facebook. Before I came on here, I would go into this prayer warrior group. It was called Gideon's Army every morning, and sometimes 107 would come in. He'd be driving and whatever. Pretty interesting. But, the importance of prayer for us to pray for America and, and bringing down those walls. And I don't know. Who is Mr. 107? Is he military? Is he a civilian? What is he? Is he a white hat, gray hat, black hat? I don't know. There's so much speculation about the man. Does anyone really know?
Wish I did. Sorry.
Thank you for posting that, Julie.
You're welcome.
Hello, Derek's on. Is anyone interested? And could we please turn off this recording and start a new one, please? I posted the link.
I already stopped the Glenn recording and started a new one. Is that what you're referring to?
Sorry, I misunderstood you. I couldn't hear. Aye. Captain, my captain.
Yeah, no, I already stopped Glenn's recording and started a new one. Is that okay?
Awesome sauce. Thank you. Would anyone like to watch Derek and his broadcast for tonight? It's on something called I Am Difficult. It's very strange because I went looking to see if he was on live, and then someone sent me a message saying here's where he's hiding tonight.
I'm game if there's no objections. Sure, can you play it for us, please?
Could sure try.
Said just
Not
literally.
I'm finna drop down so one of them can come up. All right now.
whatever I say is wrong. It's okay though.
I didn't say what is wrong. What I'm saying is you focusing on the wrong thing.
No, I'm just looking at different angles. Like
Yeah.
I get what you. What happened? Hello.
Mary, did you have technical issues or what? It was playing there for a moment.
Sorry. Oh, they kicked me out. Hold on. I'll try again. I did post the link at the bottom. It won't let me share. I apologize.
Glue on, you there? Mary, whatever you're sharing is not coming through.
I didn't know it was on. Sorry.
I'll see if I could do it.
Like he don't know.
It ain't that. You're
he know how to answer that question, but I bet you he's still a citizen.
He's right, and know who comes your way. So I kind of like the way you think. I think you just need to know the power on how to utilize those thoughts.
Right, like Tony was saying, he turned it into a negative.
Sometimes I don't say it correctly. Like how you said, my whole vibe. So that's in my whole vibe. So that's what.
We trying to get him to wake up.
Yeah, this ain't no bullshit. This ain't no, you gotta be hardcore about this shit.
You ain't telling me. You ain't.
Let me tell, I'm gonna say one thing, and then
I didn't disagree with none of you guys what you're saying. I'm not
tap out. Let me say one more thing. What you have to realize is that there is the chicken that crossed the road, right? Or who had first. You gotta be like, oh, who came first, the chicken or the egg, right? Once you cross that, then you will be able to evaluate exactly what's going on. Other than that, all the other shit ain't even gonna really matter. Like I'm telling you, get rid of that. Oh, what if this happened? What the fuck you mean? Whatever. Then you get here, right? Then you get here by thought. You are the matter of a fact of your life. You are the fact. Ain't you here right now? So why the fuck did you guessing about
people who don't know? I'm talking about like my friends or family members who don't know.
Friends.
You ain't even
know. But I'm just saying, there's people in the comments. You gotta understand.
Spending so much time and energy on the people that don't know.
He's in his beginning stage. Take it easy on him, guys.
But look, this is the thing, though.
Y'all gotta understand,
right? I think
the world been holding a lot of people up for a long time, right? On top of the indoctrination. For the same way that y'all say that they're not going to get this information overnight, right? You have to use that when you have to practice that at the same time because they're not going to get it overnight, right?
Hey, Coco.
Didn't
I tell him he was being negative?
Here, baby.
Hold on. Didn't I tell him he was being negative? What'd he tell me?
30 minutes ago.
Right. I would say he was being fear-based. That's what it was. That's still negative.
Hold on. Let me give y'all an image right quick. Y'all know when on Lion King, when they went into the pride, when Simba and Nala went into the hyena shit, you want to know motherfucking get prepared, and they was coming up there and attacking that nigga at ASAP. And then what, the daddy had to come in, but that was his higher self. Y'all gotta realize what's going on, nigga. Don't get on a panel and we fucking protecting you, nigga. You gotta know what the fuck going on. Don't get up here and act like you know what you talking about, and then just be ego in a way type, low vibrational and double-minded.
Help me, but not that way.
Yeah, you gotta go back and watch Lion King. Y'all, we old enough to be, we need to know what you talking about, and then just and go pay attention to what's going on. Don't be stepping into no motherfucking hyena land and act like we about to be cool with you, be cool with you talking about. Fuck that.
All he got to do is go to Isaiah 42 and read verses 1 through 9. Man, Tony, that's where he's at right now. He ain't playing. He got a verse for everything.
Yeah,
Isaiah 42.
I'm not worried about none of those. See, all I was saying was the necklace
necromancy. I'm not worried about
Who
that. I'm
cares
just
about
saying
the
that.
necromancy?
But I'm
You
saying
ain't your
that
mind
people
right.
Title is
Yeah, you must be very
people
interested in personally close to me. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people
Do
who are
what?
personally close to
yeah,
me.
it is.
But we
That's
ain't
what I'm
talking about
speaking
people that are personally close to you. We was on another subject, bro.
It sounds like
You
you
come up here like
promoting.
an agent.
Wisdom, how old are you? I'm curious. How old are you? If you don't mind me asking.
I guess 27.
Man, see?
34.
Necromancy, like how you said, necromancy. That's how I divide it.
How old are you?
Well, why does that matter?
I just asked the question.
Yeah,
Because at the age of 18, you were supposed to do what?
to claim your life.
Right. That's all they saying. If you have not get your 18 and you pass 18, you have to worry about you right now. It's crunch time for you.
Yep.
That's all they saying.
That's it.
Are you in your 20s or 30s? Because I can look at you and be like,
Let me ask you a question, Wisdom.
You keep saying you're not worried about it. If you're not worried about it, why are you on this panel? Because this is what this panel is about.
He an agent. He a damn agent.
Hold on.
you gotta be worried about every motherfucker. You got not worried, but you have to like take accountability of every
Mr.
fucking
Difficult. Drop that joker. He's an agent.
Nah, let me ask him one more question.
He might
No,
be, man. I
no,
don't know,
drop
man. It's
that
so
joker.
crazy.
I want to
Drop that joker.
I want to ask
Our
him.
whole vibe changed since he's been up here. Drop that joker.
It
Can't
has.
nobody learn nothing.
Well, I got
He
one
came
question.
up here to be a disruptor. Drop that joker.
No, I just wanted to add at that point.
No, you're not open-minded to learn. You don't have to be all over the place.
Let me ask him one question.
100 times.
Guys, please, just one question. Wisdom. Have you ever fuck about it? Like that's the biggest thing I learned.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing I learned. It's like fuck them, bro, because they don't want to hear it anyway.
But you don't have enough knowledge to give them.
And about it, the black law and all that stuff, and like once you learn it, you try to tell them about it. They don't want to hear. Learn it's like fuck them, bro, because they don't want to hear it anyway.
But you don't have enough knowledge to give them.
And the necromancy he's talking about is the legalese and the black law and all that stuff. And like once you learn it, you try to tell them about it. They don't want to hear it anyway.
Look, his name is Wisdom Juice. Juice got all the sugar.
Yeah, he Ralph Tresman, all right.
Like he got. Tony, what's up, family?
What's up, Tootie?
What's up, Tootie?
What's that?
Lit tonight. What up? I'm on that now.
In the bottoms tonight.
These people broken.
It's Ralph Tresman on Friday.
Oh,
it's Ralph Tresman on Friday.
Full moon or something.
In the dag. Shit, no, you don't.
No,
That's what they want. That's what they love. That's what they love.
Oh shit!
Yo, that was a fool. God damn.
Your ass up out of here with that.
I was trying.
Out of here with that.
Stuck on it.
That was crazy.
He bringing in pitch black material.
It's so much more than just that. He has no idea. Like he. That's all right.
You did try to.
Anytime yet.
Coco, you was trying to save that man. But...
I was trying, not trying to save him. I was
That's what
trying
she
to
do.
actually.
She save him though.
I like to be clear.
she probably. Hey, y'all.
There's some miscommunication.
She probably past cousin. She probably past cousin. She want to save him. She want to save him. How young are you?
Want to answer his age, like would like it matter anyway?
Yeah, he was well up in his 30s. I'm telling you,
I think he was like in his 20s, like maybe just turning 20 or something.
He was over 18. We knew that.
Okay, do that. Say it again. His 30s. Yeah, that was crazy. So.
He was over.
That this is not about belief. This is about full faith, right? This is another reason why we come into one of the first steps that you need to do is. Tony was talking about, authenticity. So when you break down that word and then we're telling you to authenticate a piece of paper, but you have to figure out exactly who you are. Authentic, you different, right? We all have talents. Now, when you read the book of Revelations, it tells you nobody will see God at the same time that you see God, right? So my revelations are not going to be your right? The president and the hells of fire. That's not the revelation. The revelation is when you God, right? So my revelation, when you put them 7 churches on notice, y'all gotta realize what's going on. Y'all don't know what the fuck going on. That's why y'all still think these motherfuckers, like these people, is the it. You with me? You are the it. The 666 is you. 6 protons, 6 neutrons. And what's up 6? Of the land, y'all. The bee coming. Y'all, when y'all be filing these fucking tax forms, you gotta do the A and the B. It's not the A and the C. When you even doing shit, I learned that in music. Form follows function. Stop doing the bullshit. Y'all gotta stop. You got motherfuckers popping up now. It's 2025 hearsay. That's still hearsay, right? Y'all got motherfuckers popping up saying, oh, New Year. Nigga, there ain't no New Year. It's still today is yesterday. Today is 1975. How about that? What you mean? Y'all, how many bad bitches and bad niggas y'all witness? And these motherfuckers got stayed yesterday. Today, I'm sorry. Never mind. Let me be quiet.
You right though.
Y'all know what's going on. Y'all know what's going on. Stop going out. All right. Listen, go after that.
Go speak your piece.
I'm telling y'all, it's real out here. Stop it. I'm not about to educate nobody. I'm about to edify. Right? Simplify. Right? We got to use mathematic words. Y'all gotta know what's really going on out here in these streets. Okay, this shit is no more of the. That's why when the pandemic happened, it was talking about the crown of your head. The reason why they really didn't want us out is because we would have immediately experience the spiritual touch, like the sense, like I could be right there and I can hear what you're saying. I know y'all, was that where the guy had went touch, like the sense.
Oh, you talking about the movie with John Travolta?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's real shit.
That is real
in
shit.
the house because we would have been able to like see it immediately. Now they got everything. I can move shit with my hands, right? We all been doing. I've been healing people since 15, y'all. I got videos and poems, and I'm like, damn, I was looking out for myself so I can remember who I was, right? When I got off track. Y'all gotta realize. Y'all gotta
want you to know that
yourselves. But all that
we so capable.
And the grandmas and the mamas that they don't give a fuck. You gotta care about you. That's why we go so much into a dark fucking hole. Motherfuckers not talking about going to the rabbit hole. You have to elevate your mind. Y'all, I'm tired of this rabbit hole talk. Nigga, you going to a rabbit hole, there's fucking coming about a one hole and there's nothing. Tell me when a rabbit has found something outside of a rabbit hole. Like, what we really in? Nigga, you going to y'all talking about? This shit becoming crazy about what happened.
The awareness, for real.
Yeah, watch the words that you talk, because you spelling yourself.
The movie is called Phenomenon, 1996.
Give me that.
Damn, that's why I forgot about it. That shit was fire.
But yeah, hey, I got it. It's other gods up here. Let's go. I'm hyped.
Good, you flowing, go. You good.
I don't like that. I don't like that.
He came up here and changed the whole flow for sure.
Yeah, we were going at it for a minute.
Hey, get him out of here.
I keep giving that young man too much praises for him doing absolutely nothing. And the flow can go back to where it was. That's up to us. He don't.
Viplex, if you don't quit asking that same damn question when I done gave you the answer, finna block your ass from up out of here now.
And too much praise.
For what I know, we got what? 5? We got 5, 6. We got 6
God. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like he went in there and all this can't be happening. We gotta go back to what we was doing. It's all
up here.
That's just
also, Coco, you gotta realize, like, you have children though too, right?
Exactly. I feel like he went in.
You feel me? Especially about the shit that you know what I'm saying? Like, these people will come on people's lives and it'll be some and then they act like they cool with you, and then they be around about 2 or 3 years, and then you know what I'm saying? Like,
fake. We call them fake.
But we'll think that they will really think that they are friends now.
Facts.
We'll really try to give him the benefit of the doubt. No. Look at myself from that area, because at the same time, if I'm participating in that shit, if I'm even in that environment, that means I'm participating. Right?
Facts.
So I gotta go. I'm in that same situation right now. Like, I know everything what it is. But if a motherfucker don't want to fucking budge or move, and you're like, I've given you, gotta go. The answers, and you still like, oh, I'm gonna go. I gotta go. keep talking about this, I'm worried about everybody else and I'm double-minded and what if this?
That harm can't be that bad if you're waiting that long.
It ain't no what if out this world, you know? I love all y'all. Respect you. Coco, Ann Poole, Tony, Miss. What if this panel and then the comments like, I love y'all, but what y'all gotta realize is that this shit ain't about Coco. That's why they say AEIOU and sometimes why. Nigga, question. Fuck you mean? You are the vowel. Nigga, the vowel is for you to complete.
Damn.
This is scripture. I don't go by verse by verse. I say AEIO. But you gotta realize I'll read the full story. I will tell you about any book that I done read.
Come at me, bro.
This is scripture. I love the fact that
Come at me, bro.
Poole, Coco, relatable, Mr. Difficult, Mister. I don't even know what you well versed in the scripture. Cool, have at it. But me, I'm gonna sit down and write. I'm gonna read the whole book and be like, this what I got out of it. And guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go for my documents. I don't need nothing but nothing. Cool, have at it. But me, it was like we don't actually study. We're just realizing the fact that we are interpreting what we know already. When we read something, it's purpose. We already knew the information. We're just reminding ourselves of the information. We are by. Hey, I got flows. I'll share them, Mary. Make sure we're just probably don't even remember. I got so many, but I put it into my work though. I might even put a verse that I wrote into a letter, into a document. Hey, that's how when you realize exactly who you are. Like this is not just. I think verse that I wrote at that. It's authenticity. I can't write like how you write. I can't type like how you type. I can't say like how you say. You feel me? Like my vibration is not your vibration. My name is not your name. That's why I will never change my name. Like some people change their name with the L, the day, whatever. I'm gonna keep. I can't say this because I gave my mother my name 2000. Like some people change their name with the L, the day, whatever. I'm gonna keep my name with the Lord, with just that what it is because I gave my mother my name 2,000 years ago. I already wrote my script. I already knew what my name was gonna be before I became on this earth. This ain't no
So Derek was in the chat typing. He's not on the panel, so, and it keeps freezing up. It's still frozen right now. So I just stopped sharing it.
Yeah, thanks for sharing, Queen. Derek has a lot of wisdom.
Hey, Queen, trying to get Bobby. He swapped out phones and he's having a rough time getting a link back to the channel or something. But
all right, I'll send you a link.
All right, thank you. He said it's invalid.
Tell him to redo it. I just got kicked out.
There he is. Some crazy things happen when you swap phones. I just recently did too. It's like, man, my old phone's got some stuff and the new phone's got some different stuff. And it's like, man, how's it get so screwed up when I transferred all my shit? Anything new today, Queen?
Anything new today?
Yeah, any updates on anything?
No. No. Nothing new. Same day. Same shit.
Same channel, huh?
Same channel. So what's up, Bobby? How you been?
Can you hear me?
I can now.
Yeah, I'm having technical difficulty, battery and internet issues. So make sure the battery's working on the laptop. Make sure the internet's working.
With an operator error.
Yeah.
You know what? That's what I'd blame it on if I were you.
That's my go-to, trust me.
Simple fact is the system looks like we're all operators. And you have to understand what the word operator means. So pair. Per. Comes from personification. So if you're in a state of self-objectification, it doesn't matter what they say or what they do. It matters what you say and what you do. If what you say and what you do is of usury, of using your fellow man, no law is going to protect you. Not even divine natural law, because that's what divine natural law is totally against, is using your brothers and sisters. So as these people, as Sunday, the word sun and day, as of Sunday, tic-tac, or what they call TikTok, and what I call tic-tac, because it's a halitotious, bad breath, bad breathing. As of Sunday, it's going to be gone, and there's a reason for that, because of red China. If it doesn't make sense, it's Chinese to you. If it doesn't make sense, it's Greek to you. The whole world is based on that principle. You have a mother tongue that you were born into, that you're generational groomed into, per the scattered tongue. And you get, then you go by that mother tongue through your mother, the mother dowry, into your father's beliefs and customs of when he goes out into the world and he creates goods, productions. That's called a father tongue, because he went from what he was generationally groomed and normalized into, from mother tongue, which is the intimate household that he should be upholding, and he creates joinder as a joiner into a father tongue. So this is what we call in biblical metaphoric communication as a mother and a father tongue. This is called speaking into tongues. It's a duality.
Are you doing scratch ass or a big heavy dog next to you?
There's a big heavy dog next to me. Can you hear her? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
That is so funny. I mean, this is some kind of Shar-Pei. She's only 6 months old and she's huge. I mean, huge, because she got her paw ran over, her back right paw, or was it left? I can't remember. Got ran over in the driveway, in my brother's driveway. She's running after cars because we're all chasing cars, which means the word car means czar. C-T-A-R or C-Z-A-R. That's what the word car means, carnal. You're having empirical thinking. That's what a dog does, because it has to survive. So the inversion of dog is God. So if we're in the animalistic fight or flight, chasing cars or train spotting, because we're of train, we're pulling a train in vulgar theme behavior, or being promiscuous in our spirituality, we are going to get our paws run over because we're dogs chasing cars. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Definitely got to be like the wizard. Even wizards experiment.
So a wizard is a wizard. A wizard is a wizard. The word wiser is miser. The word mysar is mizar, which goes to la gal. Any two-syllable word, robot, that you saw, all, that you can put in the word legal. That's how brilliant the system is. It's phonomics. It's onomatopoeia. Those words. Any word that sounds like a sound, any word that means a sound, like snap, smack. The smack heard around the world. Will I am that hit Chris Rock, the Rock of Gibraltar.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what it means. It's monster mashing of the divine word into things that it's not supposed to be. If you're mealy mouth, you're of things that are not supposed to be. You're supernatural. You're uber. You're not a divine man at all. You're something other than divine man. So if your yay does not mean your yay must mean your nay. And they can take it for a nay as you say yay.
Oh, no, it's the plot twist. Everything in nature is imperfect. The perfection comes from imperfection. So really want to go for practice makes progression, not perfection. Because the minute you look for perfection, it's where you stall out.
So what is cursive?
Person, how should I say this? A person. See, it's like you don't know what kind of. See, everything is an input and output. What do you mean by that? Because you turn that one.
It's not what I mean by it's what they mean by it. A cursive is a running or a flowing of words. They run together. It's not like print, because if you in print, you X engrave, but cursive is a whole different story. It's a joining together, right? It's relating to a grammatical aspect, relating to an action that occurs in a straight line in space or time. That's what cursive is. It has a continuity, as in print. It has a separation. Yes or no?
Yes. See, you gotta have the cable. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah. I mean, in that aspect, sure, because your sphere of influence is not in your right hand; it's in your left hand. And the reason why that is because it can't be in the right hand, because if you understand the divine law, that there's only one that controls the divine law, not you, but you're the son of it. Therefore, you're the brother of it, or the sister of it, whichever you're male or female, but you're of mankind. So it cannot be in the right hand, because the right hand's empty. The right hand is the Savior, and the left hand is your sphere of influence. So if you have 360 view of that, you understand the mirror on the wall, the image of the 6, which is you, are the carnal, and the 9 that is the alter ego of you. That's why 369 is so powerful to understand. The Trinity comes from 3, the 6 comes from the flesh, the carnal you, and the 9 becomes the inversion of you, which is the Holy Ghosting. You have to control your Holy Ghosting, your spirit, because if you don't control it, other people are going to push and pull from it, if that makes sense.
That's so true.
Bobby, that summons I did, I didn't get a letter back from the court yet, but I expect one any day. But I checked and it's off my credit report.
Good news, man. I plan on big things after this happens, because we've been waiting on what should take 30 days or 40 days to actually 8 months.
That's
So
yeah. But that one's not on it either, really. It's there's been movement with that since the first time it was closed. So, but the summons was for like a credit card or something.
Okay.
So I did 2 that week. I got 11 disputes handled since, what was it last time we checked? It was like 6 or 7. Rocking and rolling. I had a lot. I still have a couple more things to clean up. I guess I don't. I've got maybe one more thing to clean up, and then only thing left is the house. But I'm thinking about taking it off the tax laws or tax rolls, and then go from there.
Can you hear me? I can't hear
you. If you were just speaking before you said that, I couldn't.
You hear me?
Okay, say it again.
I said when you asked if I could hear you, I heard that, but I didn't hear anything you said before.
Okay, I got you. We're back on. God, computer, this internet's so weird. It's not normal internet. It's different. So I'm running through an app, so I'm seeing if it's ain't easy being greasy.
I sent out some ugly notices.
Uglier.
That first did. I really fucked up, rushed it. trying to get it in. That one was just ugly, but it worked. Hell, I did the summons part just fine.
Did they actually reply it?
The summons part was fine, but the letter I looked at later after I got home, and I was like, oh my god, I forgot that. Just a couple of things, trying to rush. That's what happened.
Okay. Yeah, if you're gonna say this.
Can't hear you. Yeah.
What's wrong with you, Doc? You want out? Hold on a second. I gotta stop. I think it's in trouble here. I done got her ball ran over and she don't know what to do with herself yet. Won't lay down, won't go outside, won't. Typical woman. No offense.
At least you could put her outside.
Go outside. And ex-girlfriend.
That was fun.
Yeah, I knew where he was going with the ex-girlfriend joke. At least you can put her. What he's talking about is biblical principle says that since you've participated in of this world things, if you Google and research the biblical principle is purchasing the land back. The whole matrix that's floating on top of the land has been sold at a price. So since we participated in the price, we're of that type of levity. We're Uber. We're not self. We're moving a vehicle or objectification of self called an Uber or Uberman, Superman. So we're still a poor of alloy, some kind of hardened or firmed in that realm because we're really soft down here. We're doughboys. We're what the IRS calls recalcitrants, which are spineless or that we're sea urchins in this reality because we have no backbone. So they have to firm us up. The only way to firm us up is to make us a firm, a cooperation. We think we're a true operator or a smooth operator when we're not. We're not smooth at all. They can see right through our application or application or manifold self through self-objectification to first, second, third, or fourth person. So they make a whole matrixing state of a beta male to smooth us out. And that's what we
monopoly.
Say it again.
It's in this monopoly.
Mono what?
Monopoly. In this monopoly.
Okay.
Monopoly.
Sure. That's where the politics of one comes from. It's not. That's why Tic Tac, I call it Tic Tac. Tic Tac is going down on the Sunday because of halitosis. Because mono is a thrush of the throat. So if you're of any type of poly, it doesn't matter what it is. Any type of game playing of polo or poly, as in many of geometric shape, if you can be topographed or classified in a rank, row, and file of a chess mating type of activity for a profit and gain, you are of geology. You can be geographically pinpointed through longitude and latitude, and you can be graphed in that system of a sphere of influence of being of usury. Does that make sense? Yeah. It doesn't matter what you're doing. That's why they have
everything is a tax. Like right now,
Yes.
we're taxing
No,
each
no,
other
no.
with information.
That's true. Everything is a tax. If you're a player in the game, if you're playing, if you're playing, if you're not a player in the game, if you're not on the send line, in that, you're worth your sand. If you're pounding sand, if you're not on the send line, that's a whole different conversation. But we're having a conversation about who's playing and who's not playing. If any way, shape, and form, if this system perceives whoever that they are, if they perceive that you are playing the game of usury, mercantile or merchant, whispering, or any kind of outside yourself function of self-objectification. If you're not yourself and if you're in personam, which means self, but it's not self at all. This is how much leeway that they have in this system. If they can draft you and draw from you for prescription by proscription of subscription in one USC, one insane person. It doesn't matter how if you're typographing it, if you're mimeographing it, if you're telegraphing it, if you're X-raying it, if you got radar, gaydar, whatever's happening, it doesn't matter. The verbiage doesn't matter. The words don't matter. There's nothing you can say that matters. If they can prove that you're in usury and you're using someone else for your self-profiting gain, you're done. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly what you're saying.
Okay.
So what I was going to say, for the terrorists, right? There's been so much vamping to now. We want to get the proceeds. That's what Donald Trump wants to do. I know he's a puppet. Now he wants to make it public because taxes rate is private, tariffs is public. That's just my way of thinking. From what I'm seeing, what he's doing.
Private tariffs are public?
Yeah.
Explain that to me. What private tariffs are public? What's that mean?
Okay, what I'm trying to say is it's been so much taxation going on. It's been so internalized that now it has to be externalized. Like put to the public. If what I'm saying makes sense.
I still don't understand what you're saying.
Okay. For every import and export in this country, right? We get taxed on it, while the countries charge a tariff on it.
Okay. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Are you an importer or an exporter? That's the first question. What you're about to explain to me or us. Are you an No. It goes to the word port. It goes to the word port. M or X. Are you one or other of those things, and do you have a port in commerce?
Yes.
That's a yes or no question.
Yes.
You are an importer and exporter, and you have a port.
Yes.
Okay, you can be taxed. I do not have an import or export in commerce, and I cannot be taxed because I'm set apart from those. So go ahead and explain what you're saying that applies to you or everybody that has a port, and those that don't have a port will listen, because it's all about biblical harboring. Where do you harbor? Do you know how to beach or do you don't know how to beach? And the word beach is not only beach, but it's also bitch. Beach is also bitch. Life is a beach. In life, you can bitch. So if you say you can be taxed because you're holding a port in import and export, because you're in commerce, go ahead and explain that to us and tell us how to use that, avoid that legally, because it is legal to do tax avoidance as you hold a port. But it's illegal to do tax evasion as you hold a port. So tell us the difference between legally holding a port and illegally holding a port.
I mean, then they with the birth certificate,
so do you know what the birth certificate?
Port vessel?
Okay. So do you know what the birth certificate is to you as a divine man? You realize that's a shoe. The birth certificate is a shoe that you can put on, and then you can walk in a pond and you can walk with, but you can't walk without it. Once you go in there and with it, you cannot take it off. It's the glass slipper.
You do get that, right?
Cinderella. Yeah, Cinderella story. That shit again.
So if you put it on, what's that make you as a Cinderella?
A bitch.
So you gotta say it like, stop rapping it. Come on, little dudes, man. That's
The
neither
birth
here
of
nor there.
the BC is before Christ, because you obviously you're not coming as Christ. You're not coming as the brother of Christ, which is Jesus, because you're coming as a beta as that. Because if you come before Christ, you're saying that you need help, you need alms, you need something, and you need those people to provide it for you because they're your savior and you don't have your own savior. Does that make sense?
They're lording over.
Yeah, they're you're asking them to lord over you. I mean, they don't lord over you. You have don't. The only way they can lord.
They do because they volunteer until we know better. We do better when we know. But most people don't realize it. That's exactly what's going on. We're more we choose to be, but once we know better, then there are ways to do better. You know.
Yeah. So that's the difference between accepting a number and a numeral. If you look up the difference between number and numeral, you'll understand what I'm talking about. Because it's about sets. You can't, if you're of a set, which is a sect, it's a multiplication. It's a plurality. It's not singularity. So singularity goes to wholeness and completeness. Polarity, which is also as a lung disease because it's of abatement of your breath, it's of multiple, it's conglomerated. If you look at the biblical principles between massing, X-massing, Christ massing, it's of being a political religious whole when that's not what you truly believe in. If you don't believe in the whole faction of the political religious organization called legality, because if you read biblical principles, the law is cursed. All law is cursed. All man-made law is cursed. Yes, because it's licentious behavior. You can't. No one that participates in legality can get around that it's licentious behavior. Period. That's by definition. That's not Bobby saying it. That's what they're saying. So that's the biblical principle. If you look up, is the law cursed in biblical principles? It'll tell you what you need to know. So you get to decide whether you want to participate in man-made law. That means all laws besides the golden rule, doing to others of doing to thee. Hold on a second. I got to take care of this dog. It's in distress. I'm not sure what's going on. Hold on.
spree. Go ahead, he's pissed off. That's why. Oh, I'm muted? Oh, I'm not even muted.
Bobby, if you can hear me, give me a holler tomorrow sometime. I gotta get to bed, get some sleep tonight. Take Malika's classes tomorrow, that tech class tomorrow too. So, yeah, just give me a call. I'll hit you up, whatever. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Everybody else, have a good evening. Or good.
All right, man. Love you, brother. See you later.
Yep.
Yeah, so I guess to clarify, the only way to have any force and effect in your own reality versus or against the world things that you thought were your reality is to come back home. There's no way to return back home if you don't return back to the Word. And those words are what you think. Even if you're an atheist, that sphere of influence that you have as an atheist must be your word, and it must be true conviction. If you don't have it, someone else is going to decide what it is for you. So I don't believe in atheism. I believe in serving one master, and I have a higher calling. So therefore, by definition, I'm not an atheist. But by another definition, I can't be calculated because it's up to me to decide that. When I say that to you, what you hear me saying, like you, but it means something different. It may mean something different to me. But if we have a private conversation, we have immediate minds. We are of like kind. That means we have community because we're similar. We're not set apart from each other. We believe in serving one master in my biblical views and my biblical principles, and that's what I stand on. I have conviction. I have spiritual conviction. And that's one thing that the system, whatever that system is, the they in your head or in other people's minds, whatever they call it, the government, the Pope, the Catholic, the Vatican, the Israel, whatever it is that these people say in amalgamation, whatever that is, it doesn't matter if they have true conviction. It only matters if they don't have conviction. Because if they don't have conviction, they're participating in the controversy of the they. If you don't participate in controversy of the they and understand that all people have a right and opinion, just like you do, there is no controversy. Everybody's got a right to their own opinion about you and everything else. The only thing that they can't do is force it upon you. And they agree with that. They agree that with you have the right to decide if you're going to serve many masters or your own master. The religious discrimination. They agree with the fact that they can't enslave you in any way. So if you never move away from those two principles, you don't even have to talk about a third. 1, 2, 3, ABC. Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. You don't have to talk about your spirit, the Holy Ghost, because you already have it, because you've already made your mind up. 1, 2, and 3 is unknown until they ask you, and you make them willingly and knowingly. And their law is based on if you make them willingly and knowingly that you made a choice, that they must clarify, clarify what they're talking about when they talk to you. And if you don't understand that, you need to drill down on that very heavily, because it's not that complicated to run your own life. It's not that complicated. It's not bend the ankle, not bend the knee, not bend the waist, Now bend the shoulder, the elbow, or the wrist, or the neck. All those joints you don't have to bend. That's called being noble. I'm not a noble man. You know why I'm not a noble man? Because I don't serve many masters in nobility. I'm spiritual.
That'll make you immobile.
Right. That doesn't mean I don't agree with those people that choose to do those things. I agree with them at the point that they have the free will choice to bend all those joints and to be of a joint like that. But I don't smoke like that. I'm not a chimney. I don't carry anybody else's smoke like that. So therefore, I'm in my own house. If that makes sense.
It makes a lot of sense.
To put that in practical use in the now time reality that I choose to make for myself, which is the heaven and earth, and step out of the hell on earth of those multiple realities that I used to live in. That's the difference. That's what everybody wants to know. Yeah, but how do I particularly apply that in my life? Well, you have to decide that for yourself. You know as well as I know that you have signed on for many masters. You have many contracts out there. You have a car loan, you have a house loan, you have a library card, you have a Costco card, you have kids in public school, and you've registered for those kids as in self-objectificated pawnship and suretyship as a name and a number, and do in this duality of this world things, and you're not controlling your spiritual household economy. You are running an economy for the jurisdiction of English standard law, common law, through popism, which is a political religious faction that you got joined to. And nobody likes to hear that. Nobody likes to hear that. But the simple fact is I did it too. Until I stopped doing it, until I realized that my heaven on earth versus my hell on earth. Everything that comes to you is a challenge, it's a temptation.
You're building, people are building.
It's an application.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as someone comes to you and asks you a question, they're asking you to apply for their reasoning, their concept, or their ideas. The word apply and application comes from the word apple. L-E goes on the front of the word. App. A-P-P is a clipping of appetite. There's an app for everything. Because this whole system of legal, the gallery, is a confectionery. Not only a confectionery, it's also a stall to milk something. So sycophancy, it's the land of milk and honeyers, the milkers and the confectioners. So if they're going to provide you and they're going to let you eat cake as you see fit, step up to the a la carte. We have everything that you wish, want, and desire. But if you're your own person and you can feed yourself, you're not stepping up to the banquet. You have your own last feast with your own spiritual advisor. That's what you're always at your last supper. It's the eve before the downfall. Everything is a temptation, and every day we make that sacrificial bite out of that application, that apple. We apple around. We bob for apples. We put our face in the water through baptismal thinking, and we take a bite of that. And when we take a bite of that, we are lesser. If you're female, you're lesser. If you're male, you're lesser. So the female would become masculinity in an Amazonian way, and the male would become femininity in the Eve type of way, as biblical principles would say. As soon as you take that bite out of that temptation, you become an arbiter. Arbiter. You can look that word up. And it's on the back. Yeah, arbiter. A-R-B. Yeah. So it goes back to being cursive. If you're cursing yourself, the curse will get you to cope. How you're coping is how you're copying. How you're coping is how you're copying is how you're capping. How you're capping is how you're sapping from the cap. So cap means capitis. And to draw from that capitis dominus of whatever dominion is sapling or suckling. So you're literally in a tree formation of a word tree or a numerical tree. You know what a word tree is, right?
Yeah, even the body's vascular system is built like a tree. You got the roots and everything, which is the nervous system.
Yeah, sure. You can look at it like that because the word tree, to be treed, you understand what treeing is, right?
Yeah.
The dog of the London chase of the dog of the hounds I call the meats and the balances the meat for the hounds because it's really a per chase. Because when you're a lit and you're mounted, you're mount making, you're chasing something. You're chasing something or you're being chased. That's called treeing. If you tree something, that means something is in a tree and you're down there chasing it to be put in the tree so you can shoot it out of the tree. You're aiming for it. That is your want, wish, and desire. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay, so you're a forestry. You're in the King's Forest, Nottingham, so to speak. You're in the Garden of Eden, or which is now is the Garden of Rocks, of stones, because nothing's growing there. It's a fruitless endeavor because it's of even though you're running with the biblical haste, which is called courting speed of wooing, courting something in that purchase, it's of idleness. You're enclosed, you're encapsulated in the King's Court or the Garden of Eden, which is now the Garden of Rocks, which you're casting stones at something that does not even matter. Are you following me? Yeah, it doesn't. You're going to pass away with the same thing I pass away with. Nothing, except your word and your honor. You can take that with you, but you ain't going to take no textile, mercantile. You ain't going to take no commercial, any kind of commercial wealth whatsoever in a tangible textile or mercantile way. It's going to stay right where it's at when you pass. So why are you working your whole life to hoard it?
Yeah, the material traits.
Any kind of materia, not material, materia. Substantial materia is not going to be worth a damn when in your last breath of your hours. You think you're going to think about anything that you've hoarded, all the collections you've hoarded, all the things, the 12 cards, the 12 guitars, the bars, the houses, the cars, the women? No. Even the ounce of cocaine you may have on your dresser, you think that's going to matter in the last minutes of the last breaths of your life? Ain't going to happen. Ain't going to happen. I don't know. That's just the way I see it. But the point is, there is no difference in the things I just mentioned than everything else that you got. It doesn't matter. I am sitting here literally in that last month going through my mother's stuff that passed away that she didn't even mention, she didn't care about, and I know it meant something to her. The stuff that I uncovered, the stuff that I see, the stuff that she forgot about. People are going to go through my stuff the same way. So why are we holding on so tight to these things? That's the question.
You know why? It's because I have the fear of the unknown. The fear that they don't have that control as they used to.
So are you telling me that so you're telling me if we hold on so tight to those things that it's given us some sort of existence? Would that be fair to say?
I mean, yeah.
Okay, I get that. I understand that, and I used to believe that. So that's a reasonable, to me, that's a reasonable and rational answer. So,
but it's more than what I'm even saying myself.
What's up?
You know what I'm saying? It's more than what I think, because I know that's not the only answer.
Well, but it's a good answer. I'm agreeing with you because most people, we hold on to it because here's the problem that I see. We don't really know what's going to happen. In my point of view now in life, I don't know what's going to happen, but I damn sure want to know. I want to have enough to get there on that might happen. So that's a reasonable thing. I don't want to be destitute. So when I say I don't want to be destitute, immediately if people follow biblical principles, they should say, well, Bobby, what do you mean? If you live in faith, you'll never be destitute. And I was, you're right. I misspoke there. What I just said, I'm perpetuating a myth of destitution. But if we live in faith, there will be no destitution. If somewhere, somebody or something will provide a way for me to eat, to be sheltered, and to live. Now that may not always be convenient of this world. It will provide. You understand the difference between being convenience and luxury, with all the privilege and benefits of everything that you think of, to we're living meek and humble to be provided for for survival, right? You get that right? Yeah. Well, most people won't even meet you there. They'll say, "I'm not giving up what I got for what you're talking about." I'm not asking you to forgive up anything. I'm asking you, if someone comes and knocks on your door tomorrow, will you give anything you got to that somebody that knocks on your door? Because you don't know who's knocking on your door. You don't know if that's a representative of your Savior that's knocking on the door and asking you for goodwill. Because when you look at the word mine, M-I-N-E, you can't, what is a mine to you? Is it something you can step on and explode? Or is it possessive, like you might have thought in your head when I said it? Which one popped in your head when I said it? The mine that's going to explode, or your possession?
I say it's a possession.
Okay, well, that's what most people think. They forget about the part when you step on it, it'll explode, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what we're talking about. The English language has multiple meanings for that very reason, what I just explained to you. We don't know what the fuck we're talking about. Anybody who comes on this call, like me, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. All I know is what I'm talking about for myself, and I'm conveying to you right now, brotherly love. It means something to me. It don't have to mean something to you. You can take it or leave it. But the parts that you take from it, I will, and I hope that you will take through it. That what I'm saying is, if you look at the spirit of the law versus the little word of the law, they're telling you right there on its face that you ain't got to fill out 1099. You don't have to make an application to know shit. Because if you're a spiritual sentient being,
Talk about us in too much of these forms.
Yeah.
Form.
You don't have to come in form. Look at the word form. What is it? Have you ever looked it up? You know what it means? Ed Sheeran did a song about the shape of things.
And they can
form
make
goes into shape. Yeah. Right. Yeah. When you talk about biblical principles, and when you talk about forms and litigation and being a litigator, well, you're talking about clay, right? You can't form anything unless it has some kind of malleability, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you're firm in your conviction, can you be malleable? You understand what I just asked you? If you're firm in your spiritual conviction, what they call religious choice, can you be malleable? Can you have water added to you or drawn away from you, where you can bend or fold or plicate or manifold? Yes. Yeah. So, right. So as we're spiritual firm, they can't create a cooperation of us being an operator to be firmed up in, because we're not of their type of firm. We can't be scaled in that manner. If we're spiritually firm, they can't do a mirror on the wall. Yes, they can't do an image of likeness of spell casting to do an alternate reality or an altered ego into a jurisdiction of addiction that we don't conform to, because we're firm in our yays and our nays. That's what addiction's all about. They can't dick us down like that, right?
It's a lot to think about.
Anyone that comes to you, decent, anyone, it doesn't matter who it is, as soon as they ask you a question, I said, are you asking a question? Yeah, I'm asking a question. Okay, well, I can give you an answer if you want to talk in private. What's that mean? Well, what that means is I live in equity, so I like to talk in private, and I can't do a public investigation because I cannot submit data elements on the record, because I can't guarantee a warranty. And they say, well, I don't understand that. is that? Well, because I don't have legal representation. Why don't you have legal representation? Well, because I can't accept an attorney or a conservator of a receivership because I'm set apart from all that stuff. Well, sir, it looks like you signed this and you signed this. Well, that may be obvious in your world, but it's not obvious in mine. What is physically obvious, or through deductive reasoning, whatever you're using to come up with that that summary of that amalgamation that you just did, I'm sure there's lots of numbers in there, and I'm sure you probably did it correct. But what you're talking about is the literal interpretation of that contract, or whatever you're looking at there. I'll assume that it's a contract, but it can't be added up in that fashion pertaining to me, because I signed that for what I deemed an equitable necessity. That's what you're missing. I signed it in the spirit of the thing, which means there is a Santa Claus within that contract. There's an unquestionable contract clause within that contract, and if I'm a conscious objector through spiritual acceptance, what you call religious adherency, I probably should have never signed that contract in the first place, and that comes back to surety subrogation. But if you just stick with your spiritual choice that, yeah, I can't answer it or not, I'm going to go with the fact that you say I did sign it. If you put that in paper and you give that to me, I'll discharge that accordingly. But I have to have it. Talk is cheap. Quit talking. Sit down and put it in writing, put it on a paper and give it to me, and I'll take care of it. That's all. That's all you ever need to do. You never need to argue back and forth with them. You don't have to cite codes, which is actually a cipher, which is actually a relic. The word relic. All codes and statutes, even if it's of modernism, the minute that it is
to put you on the statute.
Yeah, the minute that it is passed,
come on,
statutory rape. That's what it is. It's statutory rape of men's mentality, because they have to affect you before they can effect you. Yes, right. They cannot get a physical effect in the tangible reality until they affect you in the intangible. It's not going to happen. It's called A&E, arts and entertainment. They are artifices of psychoanalytic behavior, and no one, it doesn't matter who comes on these calls, they can win this time, they can win that time, but they are setting in a loop, a time loop. If they win, lose, win, lose, they are setting a time loop of this same behavior, unless they step out of it. They have to literally step out of it before they can see that they've been in this time loop of behavior. And it can all, at any time, be taken away from them if they're in that time loop. They can be the most intellectual, legal arbiter of all time. But at any time, it can be taken away from them. The reason I say that, and the reason nobody can prove me wrong in that statement, is because even if they take their last breath and they're laid into their crypt, as they've been a cryptologist all their life of trying to decipher all the ciphers that they come across, guess what happens? They die with the same thing you die with. Nothing. Nothing. No thing. Isn't that crazy? How could you spend your life being in this legal lawful movement and dedicating your life to what I call idleness, but being very busy at what you do?
I don't. Yeah.
Well, American Idol. Let's call it what it is. It's an AI. American Idol is an AI, which is what? Artificial intelligence or artificial. Yeah, right. So it doesn't matter. You can be. Yeah, Moses taught us that if you're going to be a Moses and you're going to be a leader, you can maybe perform a miracle through here or there. But the simple fact is, Moses left a life of turmoil. I have followed in Moses' footsteps, literally. And I've also followed in Abel's and Cain's footsteps. But what does it happen to? Nothing. I would rather follow in the Christ footsteps than those guys. Wouldn't you?
I agree. Like when Christ said to the poor man, like, to follow me, give up everything. And he walked around sad. Well, I'll say this: he had more integrity than Judas, though. I give him that.
So how would you apply that? Well, you apply it because they tell you that they won't. That's one thing that they won't discriminate against your religious adherence that I call spiritual choice. So think about this. Let's say I have a wallet. Let's say I have six credit cards in that wallet. Not only do I have 6 credit cards in that wallet, but I have 3 or 4 rewards cards, and I have a library card, and I have a Costco card, and I have a driver's license, and I have I've got a copy of birth certificate, and I even got a passport, international passport in the wallet. I have given my word to do all those things that I just mentioned, and not only those things, yes, not only those things, but all the things that are adhesed to those things, which we know that they can, through Roman civil law, that they can hypokathia 9 times. So if I've got 10, I've got 90, right? I mean, that stands to reason. So if all those call me at one time, I'm the one that has perjured myself, not them. They're going to say, "Hey, but we didn't perjure ourselves. You gave us the word. You do a thing. You love us, Bobby. You said you love us. You love all 90 of us. We want you to love all 90 of us right now." Is that the epitome of Bobby being a whore? Bobby's got to love 90 people.
Poly.
Yeah, right. Poly. We're back to poly, right?
Yeah.
Right. So it's not convenient. It's not convenient to think like this. Yeah, I mean, people could be thinking right now, well, yeah, I've got 30 in my, I can't do without them. You can't, or you won't.
You can.
Well,
you just gotta have that paradigm shift.
Yeah, I'm living proof. These last 30 days has not been easy. I've got 1 driver's license that's signed by, and I got 1 free medical card. That's it. That's what's in my pocket. I don't have a wallet. So I know for a fact that you can, if you're willing to do it. If your true will and hope is in faith, and you this is what you truly will. I don't want to say wish, want, desire to me is pretty irrelevant because it's in an immature state. A spiritual hope and faith is a different story. So I'm not saying I'm better than anybody else. I'm not saying you got to do it. I'm not saying you should do it. I'm just saying that the choice is there for you to make, and it's up to you. You can keep doing what you're doing, and you can try to do it better. You can do it harder. You can do it faster, and you can stay on these calls for years and years and years and learn these legal methods, mythologies of contrivance and device, because that's what they are. That's what the Bible's saying. You look them up. You look at the word legal method, and it talks about contrivance, and it talks about device. One is of a gambling nature, and one of it is a deceptive nature. You can do that to the day you take your last breath. Many men has done it. Men and women has done it before you. The choice is: do you want to do it? Do you want to keep working for nothingness because you're going to die with nothing, or you want to start?
Profits a man to gain the whole world and loses his soul.
You're right. So, do you want to really enjoy yourself now? And you could say, yes, Bobby, I want to enjoy myself now. But how can I fun enjoying myself now, right? That's the big question, right? How can I fun enjoying myself now without thinking about tomorrow?
Yeah. That's crucial.
Right. So we got to talk about funding. And the simple fact is the reason I've got a 100% medical card is because I'm not a card shark. They already ordered the medical cards, so that takes the worry of going to the doctor, the hospital, emergency, and all that stuff. So they took care of that part for me because I literally gave back everything else that I was doing. The only thing I haven't given back is the traveling aspect. And if you look at the traveling aspect, I restricted it by the word bicolon. The word colon in itself is a co, or a C-O-L, col, as in cornel, on, or a colon. You have to look at these words for what they are. So the period is wholeness. The semicolon, the wholeness rises, and then there's a tail. There's a comma under a semicolon, period, comma, semicolon, colon, question mark, exclamatory. These are all punctuation. So the word punkarelli or punked makes a lot of sense when you look at the narrative of punctuation in grammar or grammar. That's why we don't follow grammar anymore. English language is precise, but it is of ambiguous behaviors if you look at multiple meanings. It goes back to what?
Roman. I'm gonna say the Roman.
Well, that's what I was getting to. Today's English language is based on English literature, not English grammar. And the difference between the two is that usually when I speak, if I don't convey precise language or precise verbiage when I speak, someone will ask me a question. And if I can't stand on what I just said, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. If I can explain it to you. That's why English language, I'm picking the words out to convey to you. And if there's a misinterpretation, you ask a question back and I can convey to you and we can go on with full understanding. That's what English is for. That's why it's the cream of the crop. That's why it has risen to the top. That's why most, all over the globe, people has adhered to English because everybody truly wants to understand each other. But how do we do that without a precise medium of exchange for verbal allocation? We can vocalization. We can't do it unless there's a standard. English has become standard and risen to the top for this precise reason. But if you go in mealy mouth, if you're using slang and urbanomics and you're not having a true meaning of minds with someone who's across from you, and these people lose patience, well, you lost your audience. You lost the room.
Every time.
Yeah, you're a performer without an audience. What good is it? It's not.
Even in the legal department, that's a department. Crazy. They have to cultivate the audience. The minute they do is when they lose that audience. So that's true, and that's true right there.
Yeah, it's called reading the room. It's like when everyone comes onto these calls, and even me at times, I've done the very same thing. I didn't read the room and seen what was happening, and I would come in hot, and I would everything that I said or everything that I said that was interpreted as is that I was being an adversary to the presenter or someone who was actually talking. Well, that's not what I meant to do, but because I didn't read the room correctly and I didn't listen and be patient and give empathy, I predisposed, or every words that the guy said, or I presumed and assumed that the guy's words that he said, and I didn't really know what the fuck was going on. I shouldn't have spoke. So, what they call biblical haste. You've read about that, right?
Yeah, biblical haste.
Yeah, that's what the court deals with. Instant gratification of biblical haste. All courts, whoever the people are who have capitulated to being a respondent or respondee or an assumption who were all non-assumptions before they become legal assumptions. Anybody is in an instant state of gratification for biblical haste to get the issue resolved for their share of it, or they're left alone of it. They don't understand that they can set themselves apart from it and just be calm and not be of biblical haste, not be of the speed of the court like Levine's commercial manual will tell you in its forward or its preface, and just calm the fuck down and say, hey, you know what? My time is my breath, my divine now time breath is a gift every time it happens, and every millisecond that it happens. I don't want to waste any of that on you or your ideas or your thoughts or your accusations. So, yeah, I just accept everything you're talking about, and you just go about your business, do whatever you want to do. Well, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Well, okay, you can try, but I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to devote any more time to this. So all you got to do is put it on paper and send it to me, and I'll take care of it.
That's what I was saying.
Everything is a negotiable instrument. There isn't anything that's not. You understand that, right?
Yeah, of course. What I was gonna say was the court is there to extort, coerce, or if not, they'll throw you on the psych ward.
Well, yeah, yes, and yes. Okay, so any courting, any cooing of courtship is there to tempt you in the state of marrying. The word to marry is a animal husbandry term. So once you marry beasts together, as in equestrian horses, you'll create a foal. The only thing that can create a foal is a mare. So the old gray mare ain't what you used to be. The birth certificate is that it's not a stud. Don't get confused here. It's totally in a fem mystique. So that birth certificate is a black stallion, is a or I shouldn't have said black stallion, but metaphor wise and brackish behavior. It is a service animal to comply your sensitivity to the political religious organization is to ease you in. It's a seeing eye dog because you're moving blind. You can't do it without it. No one can move in the world of legality without those names and those numbers. That makes sense? Is that fair to say?
Well, like in Revelation says, ye force the rich or the poor to receive the mark. You cannot buy or sell.
Right. So guess what can happen? What can happen is you can say, that's not mine, that's yours. And for what I understand, that you can use that to your advantage, not to my advantage. You can use that to your advantage to write off whatever you need to do to provide me alms from the system that you've actually built and participated in. That's a house of our great Savior's house that has many mansions and many rooms and many market booths to provide me for the alms of the free grain that was issued by the Roman civil law of frumentation. You can do that. I know you can do that because isn't that so that your law says that? Their law actually says that. How do you think these churches go to the side door of Walmart and get all the shit out of Walmart and take it out to the food pantries in the community and deliver that to the people on every second or fourth? Yeah. Right. So the 501c3s are the brick and mortar legal liaisons, just like any Amish person would have. They would have a legal liaison to go out and do the things that these food pantries or the 501c3 churches do, and they wash the money, baptize the processes, the military things, and hand it to you free of charge without any name and number. Imagine that.
Oh, that's why politicians, right? You want to get rich. I don't want to say get rich. You see, this is what happened. And they turn out to be the most prostituted people out. But yet they become the richest quick. The thing to get rich, you want to get rich quick, be a politician. But with that comes with being on someone's tutelage, being under someone's neck. Oh yeah, the polytech. So it's that we see again. What profits a man to gain the whole world or lose his soul? So you see the Clintons, right? They're the people that came from nothing to having a lot, but now they have to spend the rest of their life being under somebody. All our money, they pretty much it's like the bird trapped in a golden cage. I'm tracking. Are you here, Bobby?
Yeah, man, I was just packing up and get some stuff in order. I heard it. I got some. Let's get talking about this stuff. Yep. So the point of all that, what I was saying is the only way to handle, to me, the way I see it, the only way to handle the situation with a landlord, a utility, any contract that you sign is to understand that you are, the presumption and assumption is that you are surety for that, no matter what. That's what you signed up for. It's yeah, right. I mean, you're in a receiver conservatorship situation. Even if the landlord is a dummy, like I used to be a landlord of 15 properties and I was a dummy, I was being a dummy for the state. Therefore, I had to have another dummy to be my dummy. Therefore, I wasn't liable. So if a renter, if I bought a property because I'm a realtor, you can't, I mean, once you're participating with the matrix, you're considered a realtor, you're considered a processor, you're considered an auditor, you're considered an accountant, you're considered in ecclesia, you would be a factor. The word factor is an ecclesia title. That means you're a factor, you're a substantial matter in legality. All these things are titles of legally. So it's being of noble gases. So it's being of Kryptonian. It's the last gas that they found that they had to add to the systems that really don't matter to shit. It don't mean nothing. It probably doesn't even exist, but it's a meta communication cipher that you have, or the codex, because you've taken upon noble gases. You become flatulent, you become flat, you become linear. So therefore, you've been given a numeral for that linearity, which is called a number. And if you're a number, the word number is num, N-U-M-B-E-R, number. It's like the word flower is flower. You understand the concept?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is how much wiggle room they have in the English language. Things are not what they seem to be, and this is for the reason why. Because they have to control 8 billion people's ideas, thoughts, and concepts they bring to the system. Not only to me, 8 billion people can, right now, if I'm on the social register, 8 billion people can have an opinion of me. If I get on the TikTok, which is going to be banned on Sunday, if I get on the Instagram, if I get on the X, which used to be Twitter, if I get on the fuckbook, Facebook, that used to be Factbook, or whatever the fuck it is, Meta, whatever that is right now, they're telling us right now that if I get onto those things in my natural state and form, I'm self-objectifying myself to something other than I'm not. Because decent can get on there, or there's 6 other people or 5 other people besides me and you can get on there, and you guys can have opinions of me. And guess what I got to do? I either got to accept them or I got to argue with you about them. And guess what's going to happen 9 times out of 10? I'm going to argue about them. Right?
Yeah.
So if I don't get on social media, and if I don't participate on social media with the understanding that people are not going to always agree with me, I'm going to have a huge problem right off Jump Street. Right or wrong?
Just right.
And that's what publishing is all about. The word publish is of public. The word public is of association of publicans. The word public goes to pub. The word pub goes to where? The bar. Do you go to the pub? Have you been to a bar?
Yeah.
Okay. Guess what they manage at a bar? It's off the top of your head.
The drinks, the music.
Yes. What does that lead to with the individual once someone has too many drinks? Someone has too much music. Drunk. Yes. So the bar, all barcoding manages states of intoxication, brother.
Toxic. Better word, yeah. Intoxication, yeah.
Yes. States of insanity. So would I want to keep continuing participating as a realtor, an auditor, surgical tech, whatever the fuck I was? Would I want to participate with states of intoxication through barcoding? Because that's what careers are. If you look up the word career, It means to travel through space. It don't just mean a legal profession. Career. I am careening through space and time. Biblical haste.
And we're talking about some. I'm trying to store up for the future generation, but once you grind, you don't have a say so no more. Whoever that is have that say so. Cash my trip. Because I see people, they leave this stuff and whatever.
Well, in my opinion, and in my humble research, opinionated perception of my firsthand experience knowledge of having 2 cards of theirs. Actually, I myself has applied for 1 card of theirs, which is a driver's license in a restricted manner with the bicolon, and then my natural name, my appellation and calling. And then they awarded me back with the medical card, the 100% medical card. So you're talking to a guy that's got 2 cards, nothing else. No vehicle registration, no mortgage, no rental contract, no utility agreements, nothing. So you have to understand that first. So in that perception, you always have to come from the standpoint of that. How many cards do I have? What kind of wallet am I trading in? Which means what kind of walls have I built around me? And with those walls, can I migrate over those walls, in those walls, under those walls? Because that's what is migration is all about. Which grant am I participating in? The grace of God or the mercy of legality of many masters? Which grants? I can't grant. I can't be of the grace of one master and be granted those privileges and benefits of having true religious adherency or spiritual choice on the right hand side of God, and go across the aisle in a state of marriage, be carried across the Birming, it's called Birming, is sweeping across the aisle and adhere to all these privileges and benefits on this side of the aisle, and say I don't have any jointer to it. You understand? You understand the hypocrisy there, the double-minded thinking?
Yeah. But it's just, yeah, so I guess the thing is, you gotta start the treasures up there, not out there. Well, in there, not out there. That one I'm saying makes sense. Because look at this way. You don't have your mind, bro. You don't have nothing. In fact, if people around you can use that mind, utilize that. Or utilize you. But since you don't have your mind, you know, whether it's at the core or not, I don't know. That's what I do, catch the drift. So it's good that, you know, I was able to catch up. It's because with the three different name aliases, I went from D Money to, okay, with just my last name, but I didn't put to the public. Now I'm putting the wizard. Well, I didn't put wizard, but you know. I understand you gotta be like the flower.
Well, depends. It depends what you got faith in, man. I mean, you know, I can't tell you what to think. I can't tell you what to do. I can't tell you. I can only tell you my own experience. So my specific version of intent is that, you know, all my faith and all my value is of serving one master. And the reason I say that, because I don't know that a tree is called a tree. I just know all men before me call it a tree. Therefore, that means I don't really know anything. I don't know anything about anything. I just know that the men who create laptops, guitars, TVs, they've got a right to name those things because they're not of nature. They're under nature. They put nature in plastic and machined it, and therefore they've got a right to call it whatever the fuck they want to call it. But they can't. They cannot. Although they've done it and they've tried, they cannot name nature. They can't call a tree a tree until they know it's actually a tree. Until they meet their maker and say that, well, I called this whoever the first guy called it a tree or whatever they call it, a maple or an oak, that I said this was this, and their creator agrees with them. Whenever they meet the creator of that tree, then they can say that they were right. Until then, it's all conjecture and hearsay. You understand that, right?
Wow, I didn't even look at it like that. Oh yeah,
Tell me that don't hit home.
Yeah, I see where this goes. Where you're going with this? Because they was busy making merchants of man.
Right. So get this, and I'll go a step further with that. Anybody that causes a tree and then cuts that tree down into lumber, now they're calling what they've machined the plastic and tempered through temperament and machining plastic lathing. It's called lathe, which goes to the word yacht. I won't go there, but once they sucked you into the fact to call it a tree with them, and then they cut it and machine it, called it labor or lumber to 2x4, 4x6, 12x12 in numerical equations, then you build a square house from that. How far removed you are from divinity? How does that make sense?
Very far.
You're living.
And
Yeah,
you
you're
lack
living.
temperance.
Yeah, you're living in a square house that's based on something that doesn't even have a name to it, but they put a name to it, and here you are, not only lumbered up but plastered up with, drywall, asphalted up, macadamianized with asphalt roofing. I mean, I am too. I mean, don't get me wrong, I am too. But once we've done these things, we have to know we've done them and not lie to ourselves that we haven't done them with not only us but other people that's done them with us. Right? They still don't know. Strange behavior. Isn't it?
Very strange behavior. Wow, you have no temperance, you have no reverence for thy neighbor, you don't, because you're laboring for whatever that is that may be. I guess you're laboring for that security, security. Or I'm getting this education, getting this cert. Wow. But all lies in that shadow work. You know what I'm saying? They labor so much that they forget to do the shadow work. And then when times get rough, that's when they go back to doing that shadow work again. What I'm saying makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really what they have to have someone shadow people that's trying to bring the light. And the reason they do that is because I'm not a light bringer in this aspect, because I'm not a miner. I don't have a light on the outside of my head on a hat. I'm not putting it on the hat. I'm not that. I'm this, but I'm not that. That's what hat is. A tabulated hat is a minor or a miser or a laser, maser. If you look at the word laser, maser, those are acronyms for light emitting aptitude or magnetism, all that shit. So that tells you that most words in the English language can be acrimonious. They can be acronyms of initialism. You can do it. If they can do it, you can do it. Because nobody controls words, but everybody controls. Everybody. Hold on a second. Everybody controls the jurisdiction that the words are used in per assembly. You have to join. You have to join, and you have to understand the context and the thesaurus. The word thesaurus. That's why dinosaurs are of thauruses, because words are of antiquity. Once they're spoken, they're in the past. You understand what I'm saying? Unless you have true conviction, if you put them in the now time, and they're always the living word. If they're not the living word and you have conviction, guess what they are? Dead languages.
Yeah. Also, I was gonna say that English has the 4 pillars again. Well, I deem as 4 pillars. You have a plural, adjectives, noun, and verb. And without those, you don't have the concrete language, such as English language.
Well, sure, but you can still. Okay, I get what you're saying, because you're talking about 7 parts of speech is really 8 parts of speech. But the 7 parts of speech or 8 parts of speech really goes in continuity with the 7 musical notes. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, 7 continents, 7 planets, 7 virtues, 7 deadly sins, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7. It's off the chart for 7. But the simple fact is, you can come in this system, or you can have a meeting of minds with this system and meet them halfway with Tarzan speak 1-syllable words and get your point across without being subject or put yourself at risk to their jurisdiction. Because, make no mistake, their juris is based on diction, and so is yours. If you're going to bring the dick, swing the dick up over your shoulder like you got the biggest one, and lay down the law or point out the law to them that the law's already laying, and you don't have to reestablish it. We're not having a dick measuring contest, and we're not having, but we can't have a pissing contest. You understand the difference, right? One's physical and one's a flow of something, whatever we're emitting. That's a pissing contest. Who can piss the farthest, right?
Yeah.
Right. It has nothing to do with physicality. It has everything to do with effort. So my effort starts with my affect, my mental, before it ever starts with my effect, the physical, tangible. So if we're going to have a pissing contest, you have to conquer my mind, which is my heart and my soul, my head, my heart, my hand, before you can even before you can even compete with my feet. Because I'm not running for anything. I'm not running after anything. I'm not in a chase. Therefore, I'm not trying to purchase. I'm trying to have a meeting of minds with you. I'm going to stand right here till we do. I'm going to be calm and quiet till we do. This is not a nuisance, which means it's not a noise.
So even when you purchase or look to make it purchase, you're dealing with bidding. And then when you're dealing with bidding, right, it's like a horse racing.
Exactly. Right. Yeah, look up purchase. It's the same.
Wow. So you do want to avoid that. Like, why do
I mean, look at the word this way. Perk, haste. Perk means to percolate. Look up the word percolate. The word haste goes to biblical haste. Haste. The T's not in haste. H-A-S-E. There's no T there. So perk, haste, purchase. Pew, P-U, and then you have an R with chase that you can come up with all kinds of things. Race of the haste. RC can be remote control. I mean, it's I keep telling people it's up to them to decide what that word means, not anybody else. It's up to you how you use that word. And guess what? People can think you're crazy all fucking day long. Like, if they hear me, they say, well, you're crazy. You're reading crazy. Well, really? There's people out there reading right to left. There's people out there reading Inside Out. There's people out there reading in American Sign Language without any words whatsoever. You're calling me fucking crazy because I'm tearing apart the word purchase? Really? I mean, does that make sense or not? Or am I just crazy?
No, because the thing, I guess, yeah, it makes sense. Because the thing is, I think people so indoctrinated to where I'm indoctrinated to where you have to go to talk to this subsidiary and only meet with them for any and everything, not meeting the minds with thy neighbor or you're going. I have to come to that shadow. Or everything depends on that shadow instead of you coming up with your own shadow, you creating it.
Wait, right, because look at the word shadow, brother.
Yeah.
The word shadow comes from the word shade.
Yep.
Shade.
Shadow.
Right. So on the street, what does shade mean?
Shade. Oh yeah, it's a covering.
Is it what?
A covering. Like you're covering. You're shading from the sun. You're shading from the rain.
Well, well, that's not of a tree casting shade. And if you look at biblical principles, you rest yourself in the cool shade. But on the street, I don't want to hear no shade. I don't want to receive no shade. I don't want people to cast shade on me. I don't want to throw shade. That's all of casting stones, right? See what I mean? Right. So now we're putting the cover of divine nature as a tree casting shade on us for rest and relaxation into railroading somebody with their shade. If I start casting shade on you, I'm trying to railroad you into in the benefit of myself. Why else would I do it? Right?
Oh, that's why they have the little rules, county rules of where to build these houses. Oh, you're casting shades, you're railroading people away from the natural rights.
Right. But if I'm casting, go ahead.
I'm gonna say to build on property. I'm gonna even say, but you can keep going.
Yeah, but if I'm casting shade on you, what cast shades on you? What would I be with what I just said, the principle of nature casting shade on me for rest and relaxation? What must I be to cast shade on you? I'm not natural.
All through doing the overlay, by building an overlay through
Yes. So I'm a building. I'm a Tower of Babylon trying to cast shade on you because I'm spirit cooking you. And I'm not providing you rest and relaxation.
Yeah.
Or I could be saying, well, I'm trying to cure decent. He's in a state of anxiety. I'm providing with it this, with it. As I'm providing this with it this, I'm using usury. I'm gaining what I want to gain. So I am manufacturing this false sense of state of security for you as being your savior. And that's a direct translation to I am lording over you and I'm rationalizing the way that I'm doing it for you. I'm not only lying to myself, I'm lying to you too. But I'm using you while I do it. Right? Yeah. So if I'm casting shade, I must be of statutization. Because that's what a tree is. It's sitting still.
And
a tree casts shade, right?
You have a lot of no trespassing signs. The only place you see for free is asleep. It's a sidewalk. But it's all that saying four corners, right? But guess what? You're basically saying, "Now I want to make you uncomfortable." I'm not trying to make you. No, in fact, I'm not even looking to be reasonable. So even if you on the street, you're looking to be reasonable, they find ways to make it more unreasonable. Like in some places, right? They even have where it's uncomfortable to sit in some places. Especially anything and anywhere with concrete. But you see nature trying to destroy that concrete overlay. But in a sense, that's also harming the environment. And in turn, man, I was gonna And I'm gonna guess so.
Yo, Glue On, are you there? Must be asleep.